Guys, the Radix ecosystem and Radix in and of itself is a gold mine. And I'm about to teach you guys how to sell shovels before people come and start mining the gold. So in this video, I'm going to show you my Radix yield farming strategy on the Caviarnine decentralized exchange. And I'm making this video in request to CMC Galloway. He asked me a question under one of my yield farming videos. So I'm like, oh, maybe it's a good idea to make some Radix content just to kind of show you guys my yield farming strategy and what I'm doing. I made a video earlier in the week as to why I think Radix ecosystem tokens, specifically decentralized exchanges on Radix, are going to pump here really soon after the Stargate bridge is connected. So definitely watch that video if you haven't. But I want to accumulate these assets at a rapid clip before the prices go up so I can have more to sell. So before we get started, I do have to say this video should not be taken as financial advice. These are just my ideas, my research. Always do your own research and just use this channel as a starting point. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the content. So why am I providing liquidity on Caviarnine? Well, they have concentrated liquidity, and if you go on DeFi Llama, click Radix, you can see that Caviarnine is the top application on Radix in terms of TVL by a long shot at 17.9 million. Their next competitor, who I also like, is uniswap at 2.6 million. So if we go on Caviarnine's website and you hit shape liquidity, let's see what kind of yields that they are paying out, just to kind of make this thing make more sense. All right, so you can see right now with Radix USDC, the APY is 292%. You can see I have $421 in here, and I have $700 on the Floop XRD because, like I said, Caviar, this website right here, is the top DEX on Radix. So I want to accumulate it because I think it's going to pump hard, and it could be a 50 to 100x opportunity as the market cap is extremely, extremely low. So in addition to the bag that I'm holding of Radix and Floop and Aussie, I still want to accumulate more. So you can look at some of the yields here. Like I said, 292% on Radix, 136% on Radix Tether. So it's kind of like the same thing. 334% for Radix XUSDC, but this one only has $20,000 locked into it. So let's kind of go through some of these so I can kind of show you guys what I'm looking at. So if we click Radix USDC, I want to cover all the data that they give you. So you have the TVL. You can see how the TVL has been going up and down. And this goes back to what? This is February, January. We are almost in March here. You can look at the volume. So you can see the volume picked up for a while, then it kind of dropped. Now it looks like it's kind of picking back up here. And remember, in yield farming, you get paid from volume, like high selling volume and high buying volume. So you want to find yield farms where they have favorable volume to TVL ratios. If we click APY, you can see that the APY has kind of been going down, but just given that the TVL is so small, even though the volume is like near all-time lows, you're still able to get 289%. So this is, like I said, selling shovels at a gold mine. I released already a video on how a good yield farming strategy, a secret yield farming strategy, is to get ahead of tokens before they pump so you can get ahead of the volume. Because it's like selling shovels at a gold mine that people haven't discovered yet. You'll be the only shovel in town. Thereby, you'll be able to command higher prices. It's the same thing here with yield farm. You want to go to where you're anticipating the volume. You know, nothing wrong with protocols that are already established, but if you can do this successfully, you'll have opportunities to make quadruple digit yields because people will buy way faster than liquidity providers will provide. Click here, you can see the liquidity where it's mostly concentrated at. So let's say I want to add some liquidity. I'm just gonna, do this just so it can like give me the numbers here, but it gives you the range. So you have 0.287 and 7.81. And this is for Radix USDC. So that's for the low range, and then they have multiple. So I'm guessing that the APY is an average. Since it's on low, I'm guessing that they're giving it the low. It's not as much data and analytics, kind of like a revert finance where you can kind of see everything. I also believe they compound the rewards back into the pool. But if we click medium, the more higher you go, the smaller the range. You can see this one is 0.3 to 0.6. And I have these marked up on the chart here. So this blue line is the wide range, and this red line is my medium range. And I like to set liquidity in tranches, so in case it goes out of range. So I'll put the most amount of money in this wide range here. And the smaller the range, or the smaller the tranche that I go down to, the least amount of capital I'll put in. Because what you'll find is The smaller the range, the higher your APR. But if you do it right, let's say I set up a 12K in here and I put like, 5K here, just because the APY is so high, even though the principal is lower, you'll get around the same amount of rewards, which is cool. You always want to have risk adjustment in mind though. The other pool that I'm in is Floop XRD. So same thing here, you can click medium, low, highest, high, and I have these marked on my chart as well so I can kind of know where I'm at. This blue one is the low one, and these red lines are the medium ranges. And I didn't put all of them on there because these are the two ranges that I'm in. I don't want to go super tight. One, I have a small amount, and two, I can go pretty wide and still get a pretty good yield, and have a higher likelihood of staying within range. All right, now let's click on the pools and see what data they give me in regards to my own pool. So if I click XRD USDC, you scroll down here, it gives you the pool composition. So given that it's concentrated liquidity and the price is to the lower bound of the range, it looks like I'm in more Radix here at the current range. It gives you all the trades here. And if I click your liquidity here, it'll give you this data. Yeah, if the Caviar team wants to reach out, I'd love to make a collab video and have them show how to better read this. Gives me the valuation, the yield, the P&L 53 cents, and then the P&L for this one was 19. So these are the same pool. So I'm wondering if this is like what I made per day. I'm not 100% sure on how to read this, and that's why I only have like a super small amount in, still just testing it out. But, like I said, all I'm worried about is the yield. I'm just trying to accumulate Caviar and Radix as much as I can. And the more I learn and the more familiar I get with this protocol, I will make another video so that you guys can understand as well. I see why Chris Galloway asked the question, because this isn't as easy to use as a uniswap, but like they say, the people who went west first didn't necessarily have a good time. So while the user experience is kind of still shaky, we're still able to get a good yield. So hopefully they kind of build this out and keep shipping and just make it better. So with that, I like to conclude this video. I hope you guys got value from it. Like I said, I'm going to keep playing around this. I'm going to try to reach out to the Caviar team and see if I can get some more understanding, make another video in the future so that you guys understand it more. But with that, I thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you want to learn how to conduct the same market making strategies that market makers have been doing since the 19th century that I teach on this channel, click the link in the description, book a free strategy session. We'll see if our course and coaching community program is a good fit for you. If it's not, we're happy to answer any questions you may have and at least point you in the right direction. But with that, I thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love every single one of you watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and trade safe.